Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope you have a great, a wonderful day. And it seems that Matt Gaetz is going full on rogue on Kevin McCarthy. And I have to say, I'm not really too against it. We have some people that I do know that were stating that, oh, well, these Matt Gaetz and what's her face, Major Taylor Greene, and some of these other Republicans are more radical, far right, and it's really stupid to really think that because they're the only ones that are actually trying to fight to save our country. I have a lot of issues with Major Taylor Greene and some of the things that she says, but all in all, she is trying to at least do good. And I think to not have problems with certain people is, impossible. We have this. A motion by Representative Matt Gaetz to remove Kevin McCarthy as Speaker is found in Capitol bathroom. A resolution from Florida Matt Gaetz seeking to vacate Kevin McCarthy's House Speakership seat was discovered in a Capitol Hill bathroom on Wednesday. Journalist Matt Laszlo wrote on X, formerly known as Twitter, that the short motion was found on a baby-changing table in a restroom beneath the House floor. He posted images of the single sheet of paper folded in half next to a cup of coffee. The motion was declaring the office of Speaker of the House of Representatives to be vacant and included a draft date of September 15, 2023 at 11:22 a.m. Just 3 days after Speaker McCarthy announced the opening of the impeachment inquiry into Joe Biden. Representative Matt Gaetz is part of the pro-Trump MAGA branch of the Republican Party and was part of the group of Freedom Caucus members opposing McCarthy's bid for Speaker when Republicans took the House in 2022 midterms. He's one of the most vocal critics of McCarthy. Now, here's my thing with McCarthy, right? And in terms of what else that's been going on. One key note to know here is this. Is that McCarthy is from California. Okay? That's the thing here. And we all have to know that anybody that's probably from California is more towards the left, even though they are Republican. And if not, that's not the case. Now, McCarthy has done some good things, like the Hunter Biden impeachment, the Joe Biden impeachment, not the Hunter Biden, but the indictment of Hunter Biden and the impeachment of Joe Biden. My apologies, I got that mixed up there. So it's not he hasn't done everything bad. The point of the matter is that I don't know if he can really be trusted all that much. I addressed my concerns of what was going on with McCarthy when he was first getting put into House. Because I think the only reason why this man caved, the only reason why he was able to be kept as the Speaker, he was forced by hand by Matt Gaetz, Major Taylor Greene, and all these other people, which made them have to compromise for some of these guys, which makes sense. But again, I would rather have a Republican be more closer to the Matt Gaetz side of things, to where they actually want to get things done. So we have this here. This is the paper. So we have, it's unclear how Gaetz' resolution ended up in the bathroom and then who left it there. McCarthy's office did not respond to a request for comment on discovery of the resolution. The same day, McCarthy announced the impeachment inquiry following months of pressure from the far right arm of the GOP. Gaetz warned the Speaker launched the probe to appease the right wing would not save him from potential ousting. This is what I'm talking about, right? That they're telling that Matt Gaetz and all these other Republicans that seems to be fighting for our country is far right. Well, what is far right? I would probably label the far right as people that hate, that are actually racist, wants to have segregation, and among many other things. Of course, we've seen it time and time again to where this is not the it seems to be more on the leaning of the Democratic side. But again, the far right is not what Matt Gaetz is. I say Matt Gaetz and some of these other Republicans, even I would say Dave Rubin, are not on the far right. They just happen to be Republicans that either switch from the Democrat to the Republican or what have you, and this is just so case that may be. They are more in the middle of the pack. I don't even label myself as Republican. I would probably label myself as anything as a liberal, even though that would be pretty much taboo in today's day and age. But again, I don't try to put myself with any type of label because I think labels are stupid, and I also think labels divide people. I want to do what is best for this country here, and unfortunately, I don't think McCarthy is really doing a very solid job on this. The same day McCarthy announced the impeachment inquiry following months of pressure from the far-right arm okay, we read this. I've fallen for this in Mirage before. Gaetz said Tuesday of the impeachment inquiry, obviously McCarthy wasn't serious about Mayorkas' impeachment. He said of the time the speaker went down to the southern border to gaslight about attempts to impeach Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. The first thing that happens is that Kevin McCarthy gets worried that he's going to lose power, like he did in January, and like he has seen in the recent weeks as I've been mounting pressure on him, Gaetz noted. And then the second thing he does, it indicate that there is some upcoming impeachment or impeachment inquiry, and the reality is to date that there has just been the slow boat to China. It hasn't been authentic or sincere or robust. Some claim that there were threats to remove McCarthy if he didn't launch the impeachment. Which goes down to say, was it Matt Gaetz that wrote it? We don't know. Was it anybody else, or a Democrat, or some other Republican, or what have you? We don't know. There is no actual legitimate proof of this. It probably is Matt Gaetz, which, if it is, good job on Matt Gaetz for trying to stick McCarthy to the fire here. Yeah, it seems that there's a lot of tension going on in this area. But Representative Major Taylor Greene, a fellow MAGA lawmaker, assured there were no threats against McCarthy. The first impeachment proceedings are set for next Thursday in the House Oversight Committee, which chaired by Representative James Comer. By launching an inquiry, House investigators are given expanded abilities, including a heightened power to subpoena. The panel has already subpoenaed the bank records of President Biden's son Hunter and brother James. There is speculation that the inquiry could result in the subpoena of Joe and Hunter Biden's testimony to the House investigators. Then we have this as well. These are the key GOP players in the government shutdown. So we're just going to skip here all the way to Matt Gaetz here. We have this. One of McCarthy's most vocal critics, Representative Matt Gaetz of Florida, has been launching attacks against the speaker for months and has threatened to oust McCarthy from his speakership through a motion to vacate. Their public feud highlights the deep divisions within the GOP as it grapples with the spending fight. Gaetz' critique of the GOP spending plan is centered around the use of a stopgap bill to give them more time. I'm not voting for a continuing resolution. Gaetz vowed on the House floor on Monday, urging Republicans to pursue single-subject spending bills instead. We are approaching the days where we are facing $2 trillion annual deficits on top of a $33 trillion debt. This is unsustainable. And just to continue things with some facial 8% cut over 30 days will lead to no problematic reform is an assault to the principles we fought for in January, he said. Gaetz' stance on the spending bill has been controversial among Republicans, with McCarthy and his allies countering that refusing to pass a CR would result in a government shutdown and harm national security. Asked on Tuesday whether any progress has been made inside the whip's office, Gaetz responded, "No." So again, I'm not quite entirely sure what they're saying here. Now, he says that we are approaching the days where we are facing $2 trillion annual deficit on top of a $33 trillion debt. This is understandable, and just to continue things with some facial 8% cut over 30 days will lead to no product reform. It's an assault to principles we fought for in January. So I'm going to assume he wants some type of reform, obviously, and probably make it to where it's more easy to choose where the funding goes with all this stuff. Because again, I don't think he's pretty much saying it's not organized. But I could be wrong. I'm not entirely sure what he means by this. So we have this here as well, that this is from Texas Chip Representative Roy. He conservative stalwart, a member of the Freedom Caucus, played a pivotal role in crafting the CR spending plan. He lashed out against the so-called conservatives opposing the deal like Gaetz during Tuesday's GOP press conference. Go explain that you're voting against a 30-day 8% cut to the federal bureaucracy while having a piece of legislation attached to it that is the strongest border legislation ever passed, he said. Explaining how you oppose border security that is a dream bill dealing with the crisis at the border. It didn't come to praying and pressure on Twitter. I came here to figure out how to save this country, Roy added. My biggest problem here is that a lot of these Republicans don't do anything or say anything. Well, they say a lot, but don't do the action. And I think a lot of people, at least on the Republican Party, including me included, which does not really say they're on the Republican Party, is that you guys say a lot of stuff, but you don't do the things that you need to do. And that's our biggest problem. And the people, I may believe, just want action. And the thing is with Democrats is that they do action when they say the things that they do. They do the action to the things that they say. So with the Republican Party not doing this doesn't make the Republican Party really appealing to do or go to, because if you're just going to say things to either get elected or stay in power or what have you, and then you just don't do anything, or you do the exact opposite, the same thing the Democrats are doing, then why would we want to support you? This is the reason why we're trying to fix the Republican Party in the sense of everything that's been done here. Or rather just put more actual, I don't know, maybe liberals or people similarly to Matt Gaetz into our government, so that we have an actual functioning government that's not full of communists or terrible people that just have the letter Republican or R under their name. It's a huge problem that I have, and I have a lot of issues with a lot of Republicans recently. Matt Gaetz is not one of them. And I don't have too much about with Chip Roy. I had seen some of the things that he said on Forbes, where I do agree with a lot of stuff that he says. But again, I think it makes it clear that I don't think he's going against it. He just wants a better way or a more better way of doing this, which I don't think that this would be against it. Either way, I hope Matt Gaetz does some forceful stuff with the McCarthy, because I don't really trust McCarthy. I haven't really seen him do much. He had to struggle just to even get the impeachment out on Joe Biden. So again, this is just something that I don't have a lot of faith in McCarthy, but he is what we have for now. Maybe we could get somebody else in the actual seat, and maybe solve our problems from there. All right, guys, that's it for the video. Like, share, and take care.